I know, it's crazy.
This
Yeah.
never happened. Like, we've never been able to see pictures of people's costumes, really. So
I'm
this
gonna
is
show you.
special.
This is my first costume.
So, hi everyone. My name is Noelle, also known as Charge and Die, or Mama Wolf, as some people call me. My main content is Scareactor Stories, where I am a professional scare actor and I tell stories of people's really funny reactions or some of my best scares. And it's a lot of fun talking scaring, and with the mess as it has been, I haven't been able to scare recently, so I thought it'd be fun to talk to fellow scare actors like Elizabeth here about their time. Redeem cat! Oh, damn it! Now I have to find one of my cats. Oh, you only have 95. Oh, it didn't take. So sorry. Sorry. Another part of Twitch, Elizabeth, if you're unaware, is they can redeem their channel points. They get loyalty points based on how long they watch my streams, if they follow, if they
Oh,
subscribe, all that stuff. And I call them howls. So they can redeem howls at any point
I
in a stream.
see.
Some of the cheaper ones are like highlight my message, hydrate. So if they think I've been doing something too long and I need some water, they'll tell me to hydrate. Stretch is another one. But
That's
Redeem
awesome.
Cat is a personal one of mine, where it does cost a bit because I don't want to bug my cats. But if they say Redeem Cat, that means I have to go find my cat and show it off and then put it back.
That's
So that's what
funny.
Pandora Willows was trying to do. I'm so sorry I don't have enough howls in the system yet, but hopefully you'll get that one day.
Yeah.
But thank you for redeeming those points. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to talk to fellow characters so that they get a chance to tell their stories. I have a special guest with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Elizabeth Regal, and I'm from New York City originally, the East Coast. Lived in Tennessee too, and I've lived in LA for about 22 years. I've been a scare actor for like 4 years in a row until that mess happened.
Mm.
Really love it. I'm also a physicist and in school to become an astrophysicist
Oh my
specialty. So I
god.
love anything about the supernatural, paranormal, universe, dark matter, black holes, anything like that is really cool. I'm very much into magic. So as you can see, the whole ancient Egyptian thing. So I get into anything out of the norm, anything weird. I'm into it. I'm a performer. I'm an actor and also an aerialist that likes to spin on silks in the air. So I do a number of very weird things.
Oh my god, you do everything. I
It's not
love that.
ordinary.
That's so cool. I aspire to be more like you. That sounds amazing. I'm also really into supernatural stuff, so that really fascinates me, the fact that you're into like physics and
Yes.
studying the supernatural and all that. Like, that's why I play
Yes.
Phasmophobia, which is a ghost hunting game. I love it. Talk with the Ouija board.
Yes.
Ah.
A lot to say about that.
Oh man. So what got you started in scare acting? How did you get started?
Gosh, just like any actor, actress, I said, I love to perform, but it's not always consistent to make a living unless you're really branded. You're that 2%. That's the working actor, the 1% that's a superstar. And there's so many politics behind that. I said, I really wanted to make a living. I said, I'm an out of work actress right now. I said, what can I do? Something is fun. And I was always obsessed with Halloween because I started watching horror movies when I was 6, 7 years old. My mother just allowed me to. Don't ask me why, but Halloween was the holiday in my house. We had to do it up huge, have Halloween parties and all that. And I said, okay, need money. I love Halloween. What could I do this year? A friend of mine that I was working out with at the time, because I was doing a workout program, she said, oh, I used to work for Halloween Horror Nights. She goes, it's really hard work, but you may love it. And I said, I've never even been to Halloween Horror Nights. And I had been in LA for like 15 years at that point.
And you
I was
never
like,
been to Halloween Horror Nights, and you grew up with horror. That's amazing.
yeah, it's weird. I went to other haunts, but never to that one. I was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, I'll check it out. I'll think about it. And I looked it up on the internet. I booked my audition and it kind of went from there. And I showed up to the audition, which I could get into, and I fell in love with it. It was like love at first sight. I said, this is the best haunt in the whole planet. I said, this is it. This is it. Because it's so real, but it's commercialized too at the same token. So you got that quality on the sets. but you can also get that home haunt feeling because some of them are more simple than others, and it's really interactive. And I just got addicted to it. I came on board in 2016 and I stayed in for like 4 years. And I was like, gosh, when the mess is over, I may want to come back. See, I don't know. I played some really interesting characters, I must tell you.
Oh, please tell me. Really I want to hear it. Let's go.
Well, I will start with the audition. It was really interesting doing that. And this is like 5 years ago. I won't get too much into that, but I have to act out certain exercises and stuff. And I said, well, what is it going to be like where I have to like scream at the top of my lungs? And I was asking all these questions. In the audition, I have to scream, I have to haunt, I have to do all these different things. And I remember one of the girls telling me in the audition in 2016, she goes, just a tip. She goes, just a tip. Make sure you always have honey on you. Honey is going to be your lifesaver as a Scareactor. And I said, well, what are you talking about? I was like, I got to rest. I got to eat. I thought she was going to tell me to drink water and all that because we were sitting around the table waiting for our measurements to be taken. She goes, no, honey, is it? And then there was a guy next to me. He goes, yeah, I that's definitely. I said, what the heck is he talking about? He said, because to keep your voice, because you're going to lose your voice within the first week because you're screaming all the time. So basically, I always tell you to pace yourself. So when I was first cast, because I made the first cut, and then weeks went by and they said, oh, you made it, because they only take like less than 10%, I think, of people that audition. And I was like, oh, I don't know that I'm going to get it. I don't know that I'm going to make it. And I got one of those gold cards, which I don't have with me today.
The golden ticket, as we call it.
The golden ticket, the Willy Wonka ticket. I was like, I got it. Oh my gosh, I got cast in this. And I get to be a paid actor. Yeah, so it was really exciting. And then I got my character and I said, well, what am I going to have to do as a character? And then I went to my fitting and they were all really, really nice as you line up in line and you talk about everything that's going to go on for the season. And I was going to be a clown. I was always terrified by clowns. I said, you're going to work at Terror Tram. And Terror Tram, if you guys have never been to Universal Studios, it was amazing. I got to work at the Bates Motel.
Same. Oh, I was nerding out so hard when I found that out. I was like, I need to go into the room. And I did. I saw the book.
I've been watching these films forever about Norman Bates and his mother, which I'm kind of very much like that right now. I got my little dress on right now.
Oh,
kind of the Bates thing.
Yes.
So I said, okay. So I looked at my clown, and I've got pictures of her here up on my laptop that I'm going to show you behind the scenes because we're allowed to now. It's been 5 years ago.
Nice.
Can't believe it. I know, it's crazy.
This never happened. Like, we've never been able to see pictures of people's costumes, really. So this is special.
This is my first costume, and it's really interesting now that we're on adult content. But there was they had a pimp ho part of the Bates Motel. Let me tell you, I still keep in touch with this guy. He's the clown pimp, and he had his 3 hoes. And then that's what they were called. Clown hoes.
I love it.
Clown hoes, yes.
That's horror for you. Like, we get down and dirty.
I did not make that up. Yeah. And I was next to them. I was kind of the haggard clown. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I looked like in my first season. It was hideous because I'm used to being this pretty girl, and this is back when I had really, really dark hair, which I changed it all different colors. So now I'm blonde.
I'm now red. I just got it done on Monday. It's all good.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. I was about to comment on that. I was like, that's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, if my computer will open, I will show you exactly what this looks like.
It's all good. Take your time. Lord knows I took forever.
And if you follow me on Elizabeth Regal 1, you will actually get a chance to see it. This is my clown photo that I was.
Hold it up slightly higher because your ring light is cutting out. There we go. That's the makeup. Do you guys see it? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
That's it. That was my clown. And this is some of the photos I could show at Terror Tram because we actually had Norman Bates in there as well. But you can see the pimp and the other. I'm the one with the blue. And you can see the pimp clown. That's all the way to the left with his like.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right behind. That's the Bates Motel, and I got to work in there and I was like so flabbergasted because I got some really great scares. And being outdoors is everything, you know, because you get a lot of people coming in. There's the Bates Motel.
Oh yeah, that's the
You
sign.
can see it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
also see that sign in one of my photos on Instagram when I was Grindstone Kill, and I had Jason with me, like, with my face, and I'm like, no, and then you could see Bates Motel's sign right behind us so that you knew where we were. It was a nice little photo shoot we quickly did. That's like one of the very few photos I got from my scaring days. I had no idea it would blow up one day, and I really regret not having more footage. And that's what I was hoping to get, but thanks to the mess, it's gotta wait.
I know. I had so many photos up here. You can see, like, this is one of them too.
Oh yeah, that was with some of the
I was about to
maze
say,
and the
there's
Bates
so
Motel
many of
sign.
them.
Yeah.
This guy is hilarious because he spoke like a crippled person. He always did this in the back because he had the skin hanging.
Oh my god! So he would like play with that skin
like that, and I was like, oh, that was so hilarious. He wouldn't speak to me in like normal language because he has to be in character, and you're not supposed to speak at all.
No.
But he would always remain in character behind the scenes. So it was really incredible because I remember one of the opening nights we had Rob Kardashian come through with his girlfriend.
Oh.
And you always have celebrities come through and you can see the lights and everything because we had Access Hollywood there in the back lot interviewing people. They had the red carpet because we had American Horror Story a little bit further down to the right. And then their lights would be coming in, and then of course behind the scenes our captains be like, make sure that you're on your best behavior and you get those scares in because you're supposed to scare it literally every 10 seconds. So you nonstop. You're like a robot. Yep. I'm so tired. I was averaging about 30,000 steps a night. That's how intense it was.
Oh yeah, you get fit real quick doing some scaring
I'm telling you, it was crazy. But he came through and she came through and we were coming towards them and they're like, you know, and they were like scared. And I was like, they're actually scared. And I know it wasn't faked. It was totally real. And then they came through and they were going through the whole tram. And they went all the way up to the Bates Motel. And it was really interesting when you get some of the celebrities in there too, because you get to see them face to face. And, you know, they look at you. Oh, you're the star. You're gonna be scaring us. You're performing for us this time. And it's really such a gratifying feeling. And we got some really funny moments too. And sometimes when it got really crowded, we called it the Congo line. Because, you know, a terror tram, it gets literally backed up and you're trying to scare all these people coming in. And
but the element of surprise is gone because they've been there so long. Oh, I know.
I remember it was one night I was inside my hotel room and you're supposed to dart out every 10 seconds. And I don't get a chance to look out the window, but sometimes you can look out the window and then I could step on the porch and laugh at that little dead body and do all kinds of weird stuff. And people would like talk to me and they'd be like, did you do that? Did you do that? And I'd have my knife and I'd be like, and then some people would be really, really scared. I remember one night they had like these little old ladies together. There was about 10 of them coming through.
Oh, bless their hearts.
God bless them. I said, you know, because we know by reading body language which ones to get. And it's usually the ones that are like this, or they're looking around, or they're laughing. And I'm like, those are the ones to scare.
Tip for everyone: if you're scared and you're hiding behind someone, we will specifically target you. You're not hiding. We're gonna get you. You're making it more obvious.
That's so funny. Yeah, because it's like I darted out of the room and it was like 10 ladies and I came at them and I was, you know, I didn't say anything. I was like, I was coming at them with my knife and they were like this. I was so scared stiff that they couldn't move. She was standing there frozen and they had to have one of the captains in security actually move them along because they wouldn't move. She was so frightened.
She was the freeze of fight. What was it? Fight, flight, or freeze? She was absolutely frozen.
She just stared over there. And she was like, oh no. And it's like, it was the funniest thing in the world. Oh my gosh, my throat is going to be dry just laughing at this.
Get some honey. I heard it's good.
I didn't get my honey for Scareactor Stories. What was I thinking? I literally
How
have
dare
honey.
you?
So yeah.
No, that's
the
interesting
tip.
about the honey though, because like I do voice acting, so I keep honey and lemon. Like you take a spoonful
Yes.
of honey and lemon, and it coats the throat to keep you. Because I do audiobooks, so I'm recording for like hours,
That's great.
which is intense on the throat. But that's why I keep the honey and stuff. And I never thought to bring it to scare acting. And we've this whole time we've been giving advice on like some people will ask about like, oh, what about like screaming and saying this, saying that. It's like, well, at Halloween Horror Nights we're not allowed to speak anymore, but we do make
No.
noise. We can scream, I guess. So there is an element of, be nice to your throat.
Yes.
And we've said like hydrate, make sure you hydrate and use your diaphragm rather than your throat, and don't make those really like
Yes.
vocal gravelly noises. But we never addressed honey. That's such a big thing. Like, yeah, honey.
It's
coat the throat.
crazy. I was about to say I was a throat kill, not off subject, but as the season progressed, it's so intense. We're not always able to keep all the characters. Because they either get injured or it's physically exhausting, so you have to keep your body in shape.
Or it's just not for them, yeah.
Not for them. So make sure keep your body in shape and you're ready to go. But anyway, it was fun because I got to bounce into the other characters instead of just darting out of the hotel room. I was throat kill. I was a throat kill, and I was also a mouth kill. It was crazy.
Mouth
and I
kill?
started.
How does that work?
Yeah, I actually have the picture here. I was a mouth kill. This is what I had to deal with every day, and it takes sometimes up to like 2 hours to get all my prosthetics and makeup on.
Gotcha.
To do that. Yeah, I was the mouth kill, and I was like, okay, I had to sit in a chair and pretend to die, and I had to pretend to be very, very scared of Hollywood Harry.
Hollywood Harry, classic icon.
Story. That's the story. Does anybody here know the story of Hollywood Harry?
I doubt it. Please enlighten all of us.
Okay.
I know it just because of scaring at Halloween Horror Nights to a degree, but please tell us.
Hollywood Harry. Anybody want to hear a ghost story? A creepy clown story?
This is why we're here, Elizabeth. Let's go.
I got to work with him personally. We had some of the impersonators of Hollywood Harry that were part of the scare at Terror Tram. But towards the end of the season, we actually got to get a hold of the actor that plays Hollywood Harry. And he got to be on the set. And I said, well, what's this whole thing about Hollywood Harry? Because I remember John Murdy, who was our creative director of the entire Halloween Horror Nights. He's such a celebrity, and he's so great. He really ramped it up. He used to tell us some of the ghost stories that would happen on the back lot of Terror Tram, not throughout the park, just that area that I worked in. So there's a ghost story there, and also the story of Hollywood Harry. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Hollywood Harry. Hollywood Harry came into play back in the 1950s, because in 1954 is when the lot opened in Universal Studio. And there was this actor, which supposedly this is a true story. Some people say, oh no, this is a myth. It's true. It's a myth. With the internet, who knows? But as far as I know, this is a true story. Harry Kaplowitz was an actor for Universal Studio, and he worked as a circus clown for a children's variety act on the back lot of the filming over by Universal Studios. So this is kind of where, the Psycho House and Bates Motel and all that was. Well, he was basically also known as Koodles the Clown. So he was the mascot for Universal Studios. So he got around and he loved, playing around with the kids and all that kind of stuff, and giving them balloons and candy, because, kids clowns are supposed to associate clowns with something happy. Mm-hmm. Something creepy happened. Something went wrong. So towards around the 1970s, his character started to fade out. And unfortunately, Universal Studios had to let him go. So he was like, oh my gosh, he was so in dire straits, because actors, we get very attached to our characters. He became Koodles the Clown. He was the Hollywood Harry. So what he did is because he was very, very, depressed, he would hang out around the front gates of the front of Universal Studios. And he became a street performer, an unpaid street performer. And he was like a celebrity in there. And they say that he kind of disappeared into the Hollywood Hills. And ever since then, they said that there's been wildlife that has been missing, and they hear and see things back there of his ghost because he's passed on now. He's no longer living. And John Murdy, I remember him talking a little bit about Hollywood Harry. Strangely, and I don't know if you've heard this, and it's been all over the internet in the past, they have seen random clowns in random towns that would show up to people's door with a balloon that looked like Hollywood Harry. You can look this up on the internet, and this is
and I will. Story. I'm very interested.
I don't know what it is, but they said it's a random clowns or people dressing up to look like him, or if it's him, they don't know, but it's happened in towns all over the US. This clown will randomly come up and just have this balloon and just be standing there, and they'll knock on people's doors in random houses, and a lot of them are small towns. I haven't happened to see him here in LA, but it's really creepy, that story, because they never really found out what happened to Hollywood Harry. He just kind of disappeared into the Hollywood Hills. So I've been trying to go on the internet and find out what happened to Harry Kapowitz.
Nothing. Whoa.
Could he be haunting Universal Studios? He could be, because as a physicist, so you guys, this will help you sleep at night, to know that energy never dies. Just because we lose our physical body, our energy stays. That's the law of conservation, according to Isaac Newton. So our energy lives. It doesn't go away. We just can't see it.
Oh.
Like a lot of dark matter, it's really there. So he might still be around. We don't know. We can't see it. We can't sense it. So it's a really creepy story. He also mentioned another story alongside Hollywood Harry of hearing footsteps and laughing up on the hill by the Bates Motel. And that's why they don't put a lot of actors or scareactors up there, because there's been a lot of activities. According to him, I think they were telling us that I think there was some kind of plane crash that happened up there a long time ago. And ever since then, they've heard ghostly noises and things happening up on the hill. So you will never see scareactors too far up on the hill over there by the Bates Motel.
Oh.
Yes. So they tell us that story all the time. So these are not stories. There's apparently actual reality. So yeah, I had a warm, fuzzy feeling when I got
does that have anything to do with Frank? Do you know Frank? I think that's his name. But there was like this ghost story when I worked Terror Tram that there was like this pilot that went down and now his spirit haunts.
Yes.
And then they would like post pictures of him everywhere. And I have one of those pictures. Right. I like stole one of those pictures and I have it somewhere.
That is the story of Frank, and then the other people in the village or whatever. I don't know if they got...
I didn't hear of other people. I just heard of Frank, but I was also like very new and didn't know if this was like, is this a real story? Is this just like hazing the newbies? Because I'm not scared.
Exactly. It's what I said. You never know on the internet what's true and what's not. And I said, who am I gonna contact to try to delve into it? I didn't have time to delve into all the facts, but I believe that is the story of the pilot Frank. And then they always say that there's other voices in there too, of footsteps and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is really interesting.
It was really hard. I would have loved to explore that more, but with the level of volume of whatever they're playing in the maze, you can't hear much.
You can't hear much, but something really weird happened one time when I was throat kill. I was sitting in the chair, and this is back up on the hill because they have 3 different zones, by the way, at Terror Tram. They have Zone 1 by the Bates Motel, Zone 2, which is they have that little tunnel section next to the house, and then they have Zone 3 where you have to walk through the War of the Worlds. Well, excuse me, talking a lot. Yes, I did not get my honey.
Please hydrate. We promote self-care. Let's go.
Yes, we do. I was sitting in the chair, and I had the character of Hollywood Harry coming towards me, and I had to scream and start crying, and I actually was able to get into character and start crying sometime.
Fantastic.
And I remember these young ladies, she goes, somebody help her. She's really crying. She goes, somebody help her. And to get the security people and said, I think she's in pain or something's wrong. It's so funny.
You did too good a job.
I got a little sidetracked it there, but yeah, I was really crying in character because sometimes that happens when you get really emotional into it. It gets to you.
It does,
Doing
yeah.
it day in and day out. I was like, I wanted to make it really real. But anyway, it was right around that night. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I was scaring, and I happened to look way over to the right into the distance where the hill is or the bushes, because we were just waiting for people to come through because they come through in groups. And I seen some of the bushes move around. And I don't know if it was just like an animal going through or whatever. And I happened to see that. And I got off track and I was just like staring over there for a second. And then right at the time when I look back, the power goes out in that section in zone 2. And I said, what the heck? And nowhere else in the park went out. It just went out right by my section where I was sitting. Totally went out. And it was dark over there, so we couldn't see much, which was really creepy.
Yeah.
And the lights were flickering over me. Because sometimes when you see like things in your peripheral vision or stuff on electronics go on and off, that's a sign of paranormal activity sometimes. Not saying that it was, but knowing all the ghost stories going on there, and it was just such much synchronicity that I happened to see something in the bushes that gave me a funny feeling because I'm very intuitive.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the power goes out. You know, anything to do with electrical stuff could have something to do with the haunting. So I was like, oh, what was going on? It gave me a funny feeling, but power went out for like 15 minutes. We had to take a break and everything. I was like, what's going on? And I remember Hollywood Harry asking me, he said, what were you looking at over there? I said, I could have sworn I seen something in the bushes. Something was moving around, and it was taller up in the tree. So it was almost like human height, like 6 feet tall. Something was moving. And I said, that's really strange. And he's like, oh yeah, that's really creepy. He says, you got me weirded out now. It's like, here we are, the Scareactors getting scared. That happens a lot.
It does. It does. Scareactors do get scared.
Yeah, it was really strange. It's like just the whole entire experience of working for Universal Studios, and even that season was one of my favorite seasons, 2016, because you get so into it. It can be one of the toughest jobs physically I've ever done. My body was in great shape because I was an aerialist, and it made me in even better shape. And the relationships that you meet, the people I still talk to that are really good friends of mine, and the experience, it's not just like, being in a haunt. You become that. You become part of it. It like lives in your heart and soul forever. And they make it so real, Universal Studios. You got the props, you got the scenery, you got the vibration, you got the whole experience. And it's like, gosh, what's the difference between fantasy and reality now? No, not really. We know the difference, but it's like so close. They make it so real. And it's just like, I would continue to do it over and over and over every year. But that was one of my favorite
They definitely make our
years.
jobs easier because, like, as an actor, as soon as you get into costume and makeup, you feel like the character. But if you're not in a great costume that you like, or the makeup isn't like spot on and it's bugging you, or the set isn't super creepy, it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? But they do a great job. Like, as soon as you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, I'm not me anymore. Who is this? Stop! I'm scary.
And you know what I really liked about this more than ever, and I'm trying to pull up a video here, is that unlike some of the others, Terror Tram at the end of the season, when you do the very last scare of the season on the very last day, we do a celebration, or what we call a walkthrough. So it takes
forgot
like 10,
about
15
that.
minutes. Yes, and I have a recorded video of it.
Ooh, okay.
I have a recorded video of it, and it's so sad. People literally cry. All the actors on their last day, because we're not going to see each other. You're never going to experience that moment again. Even though you may come back the next year, it's different characters. So
different character, different set, different people you're working with. It's different. Yeah.
It's so different. So you create that Terror Tram family. And that's why we have that group on Facebook, the Tramily on Facebook, because it's forever. You live with that experience. And we have this thing at the end of the year, this walkthrough where all the captains and the supervisors will come up and be like, okay, this is the last scare, and all the Scareactors will line up at the beginning of the maze. So there may be like 150 of us, because there's a lot of us, 150 of us are right at the beginning. So people got their chainsaws, they got their knives, whatever they need, and we wait for the last tram. And they'll say, last tram, this is the walkthrough, and the tram is pulling up, and we're waiting for them. A group of us, and people don't even want to get off the tram.
Oh, God.
Because they know they're the last tram. And they go like in the front to be scared, because we do have a few actors that go through the maze that don't all, because they have to be scaring, but most of us do line up behind the last tram, and we scare them from behind. So there's like 100 Scareactors following them from behind. You can hear the chainsaws and the knives and all of that. And it's an amazing experience. So I'm going to try to find this video right here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I think it's this last video I have here. It's a long one, so I don't want to play all of it.
We can give a little taste.
We can get a little taste of what it looks like. Let me see here. Yeah, you're going to love this, because it's a rarity that you get to see this.
Oh, yeah. This is... everyone in chat, be excited. This is a rare thing.
I don't know if you can see it.
There's quite the glare.
Yeah, let me see. Let me get to the point of the video where we can see more. Yeah. It's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, if you want to send it to me, I can play it on my computer, and that way we won't have the ring light. Yeah.
It's amazing, because at the end we all hold our all our
props and
weapons
stuff.
up in the air, and we start yelling and screaming and hugging each other and crying, and we start going crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's just the most fun thing in the world, because you feel like you really did something. They build
it's like
you
the
up
closure. It's the closure
you need.
Absolutely. Rather than just finish the shift and then, well, I'm not coming back to work again. It really gives that closure. What we did was a little different from what I remember. Is our walkthrough was the last guest would go through, and the supervisor would be trailing them, and they would flash their flashlight to let us know this is the last person. So then we would hop in the group behind them and just follow them out. So we wouldn't meet them for the last tram. We would join in slowly.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the end, and they were so confused. They would look behind and be like, why are they following us? Does this happen with everyone? What's going on? And then after they were done, that's when we celebrated, and all the chainsaws had their chainsaws in the air. And we were like, woo! Halloween Horror Nights, done!
This is making me build myself up. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this again. I'm getting so old now. I don't want to do it. It makes me want to go back and do it again.
Me too. I'll say this.
Season.
I was a Scareactor up in San Francisco before moving to LA, and I had not gone through Halloween Horror Nights as a guest before working it. Yeah. So I just heard of it because I love Universal, and it's my dream to work at Universal any way I can. I love Universal. So I auditioned, and I wasn't expecting to get it because I was like, this is kind of a big deal. And I've been scaring before, but this is a whole new thing.
Oh, no.
But I got it my first year, and I'm very blessed to have gotten that. And so I scared in 2017. That was my first year at Halloween Horror Nights. And then 2018, I was like, I can't scare. I'm too old. I've been doing it for 4+ years now, and all different kinds of haunts, and I think I've seen it. And then all my friends I made in 2017 was like, but we'll miss you, and what about this, and what about this, and you don't know what part you're gonna get. Maybe you'll get a really cool one. And I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll audition, and if I like the part I got, then I'll do it. But if I don't, then I'll say I can't do it. I'm sorry. But then I got in a scare zone, and I was like, I can't say no to a scare zone. That's my jam. I got scare zone 1. I got a big wolf. Are you kidding me? So then I had to do 2018. I just had to. And that's where all my Scareactor stories come from, basically, is from that 1 year. Because when you're in a scare zone, you could do pretty much anything, and a lot of interesting reactions and stuff. So, and then 2019... I took the year off because I got hurt in 2018, and I needed to take the year off. My bad. I got in front of a stilt walker, and they stomped on my foot, and I tumbled down and sprained my ankle. So, oops. That was my fault. That was totally my bad. And it was so epic, too, because I told this Scareactor story before, but we'll jump into Scareactor stories through this story. Segue. But I cut in front of a stilt walker as they were making their scare, and it's a lot harder for them to stop on a dime because they're so tall and they're working with not their own feet. No. So he ended up getting my foot, and thank God I was wearing a really heavy boot, because otherwise that would have broken my foot for sure, because he stomped on it. And then I was like kind of hanging out there, and I was like, nope, I'm going down. I tumbled down. He felt so bad. Like, he reached out to me.
Gosh.
You know, we can't say anything as scare actors, so if we're sorry, we usually do that, like, are you okay? Kind of just like, you know, we like do those motions, like, I'm sorry. So he was like, you okay, kind of motion. I'm like nodding my head yes. And he reaches out to help me up, and I grab him, and since he's like a stilt walker and he doesn't know his own strength, he ended up pulling me up so much that he flung me into the air a little bit.
Oh,
because
no.
I jumped up with him, and I did like a hero's landing, because at that point so many people gathered around were laughing because the wolf tumbled down. You know?
Yeah, of course.
A big intimidating character is now vulnerable. Oh my God. But I did like a hero's landing, and I just like ran around and was like snarling at them to break up the crowd. And then after that, I kind of like limped off. I was like, cool. My job's done. Can I get some ice? But I toughed it out the rest of the season. It was perfectly fine. It didn't hurt that bad because of the boot, but it was definitely bruised for a long time. Like that entire year, there was still bruise on my toes. So I had to take the year off, and I went through 2019 as a guest for the first time, and it was amazing, but I also missed everything. So after going through as a guest in 2019, I kind of regret not doing it that year, especially because I'm running out of stories. But yeah, I really missed it, but I was able to go through as a guest. It was a wonderful experience. I understand the context of everything now that I didn't before. But yeah, it made me miss it. And so I was so planning on 2020. I thought it would be my last year. I thought I'd never do it again. And then 2020 rolls around. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to audition. And then the mess happened. And now it's like, don't know if I can based on work, not passion. Passion-wise, so going to do it again. Oh, man. But I go through that same cycle. It's like you go through, you're really excited, you audition, you get it. Halfway through, you're like, oh man, this is wearing me down. By the end of it, you're like so jazzed that it's done. And it's like, yes, I did it. And then afterwards, you're like, I'm never doing that again. That was my last year. And then auditions roll around again. You're like,
I'll do it again.
Why not? I'll do it again.
You get addicted to it. I know. Yeah. It's like the best and worst thing about it. I said the same thing. Every year was going to be my last year because it was so hard, or I would stretch a muscle, or I didn't get any sleep or anything. It was totally worth it.
Yeah, by the end of it, you just forget all of the pain and you go, it was fun. I'm going to do it again.
Exactly.
So worth it. I remember getting punched in the face. I remember getting kicked in the gut. I remember people hugging me without my consent. Worth it. Let's go.
Yeah, and getting slapped on my butt one year when I had really short shorts on. But anyway.
Oh, God.
That was during bucket kill season. I think that was 2018, if I believe. I was in the saw maze.
2017 for Buckethead.
Okay, then it was 2017.
Because I was also Buckethead at one point. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, yeah, it was bucket kill, and I had these really short shorts on with tights on underneath, and I had this purple tank top, and I had this like leather jacket, so it was like bad girl looking. And I had all this makeup on, but then I had a bucket over my head. And I remember being in the back of the maze, and it really was stinky back there.
Oh, man.
Because they had to smell, because the place before us was kind of like this like bathroom, kitchen. I don't know what it was. And there was a toilet in there because there's a part in the movie where there's dead bodies everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to have like spraying this chemical back there. And I had to smell that all season. So that was really interesting to smell the stinky smell.
Ew.
Because they had this plastic covering. Because you know when you go into like a butcher shop, the butcher comes out of the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I associated that together, which was really like creepy. But it was a great scare because I would be in the wall because they had like a mannequin to the left. And then I was on the wall. Then a bunch of us were lined up. So the people coming through, that plastic behind me did not know which one was real. So all of a sudden I just charge at them, and I would be crying, and I had my mascara all messed up because they did it on purpose, because for the film,
Of course.
and people would, they'd be scared, and people would like literally like jump back on the floor and puke. I had a couple of people puke in the because a couple of people, I guess, were a little tipsy when they go into the park, and then a couple of people will puke on the floor. So I've made people puke. I've made people freeze. I've made people freak out. I've made people cuss at me. Everything else, I'm like, yeah. What was a really great scare that year of Saw is some people that we had come through, I guess the celebrities. We had Jigsaw come through. Tobin Bell from Saw came through. So they cleared out the maze, and I got to scare him one-on-one. So he came through, and I was waiting. I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I said, I'm going to hide in the corner where he can't see me, because he can see all the mannequins lined up. I said, I'm going to go in a different spot where he can't see me. So I went a little bit further back on the room where I was almost level with the plastic. And he looked through, and he was coming through, and there was the cameras, because I seen the lights coming through, because you always know when celebrities are coming through, because you can hear the cameras and the security behind them. And they have the people in the black robes with the hoods. Looks really creepy. Those are the security.
They get their own
people.
Scares.
Exactly. So I seen the little demon security cards coming through with the lights, and then Tobin was coming, and then I charged at him, and then he looks at me, and then he like freaks out, and he jumps to the other side of the room, and he looks at me sideways. He was like really scared, and then he like comes up a little bit. He like comes at me a little bit more normal, and he walks through. He was like really slow to recover. It was really like funny, and you could tell he was totally scared in it, because it was just him. Nobody else was in there.
Oh my god.
Just behind that. It was really super cool that I got to scare Jigsaw. Yes, we did it.
Bragging
It was
moment.
a lot of fun.
Love it.
Yeah, that was a great moment to be able to meet him, one-on-one, and to be the one that scaring him instead of the other way around.
I'm going to share. This is the video of the walkthrough, everyone. I'm going to show you on Twitch right now. It's a little small. Let's see here. But this is a great opportunity to see.
This is the final walk of Halloween Horror Nights.
Final walk.
Terror Tram.
Yeah.
It's very dark, but that's just because
Can't see much.
it's dark out.
Exactly. We have to keep it really dark out.
But you can see the crowd. See the Bates Motel sign. It's 11 minutes long. Wow. Let me jump to 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. Okay. You can see it a little better now. So those are all the monsters. That's the guy with the flashlight leading everyone. Like, they work there rather than the monsters.
I'm going to find you. Where is your channel here? I'm going to watch with you.
I could try and share it. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I could share it on Discord so that you could see what I'm seeing too. Do you see it?
I do. I see me. I see you.
All right, I full screened the video. Do you see the video?
I think it's to the left.
Yes. And you could click on that little square to make it full screen for you, if you wanna.
This is amazing.
Oh my god, the clown face.
The end of it is amazing.
All the screaming, all the chainsaws.
I told you.
Oh, it's bringing back memories. So everyone watching on Twitch, this is the final walkthrough of Terror Tram. Terror Tram is unfortunately no longer with us, but it was a tradition. Oh, you can see Hollywood Harry.
We're gonna do this.
Yes.
That's the back of his head right there.
Here we go.
So awesome.
Oh, last night through.
Oh, strobe lights. Sorry for everyone who's sensitive. But yeah, this is what we would do after Terror Tram. The final guests, we would walk them through. Oh, that was you, Elizabeth.
Do you see me on there? Yeah.
And it was a great bonding moment. It gives us the closure, walking through, great last celebration.
Like the end of the season. It's like that's the very last. So we're returning our costumes back.
And for a lot of us, this might be the first and only time walking through our own maze. Because I know a lot of people didn't do like the full walkthrough on their breaks because there wasn't enough time.
Yeah, I'm sure they would take us in groups to see other mazes if we weren't too busy.
Right.
So it was really awesome. It was really good. A great team of supervisors. I worked under Ben with your Joey, Cristina, and Lisa Keith. I love them.
There's the War of the Worlds playing.
Oh, you see it.
Yes. I got to touch it. I was really excited. Oh, just so many Scareactors in one place. Be careful, folks.
It's crazy. It's like there's no room to move in there, like all bumping into each other. So they're definitely opening in for the mess to happen there.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead just because we're running out of time, but I'm gonna do like 9 minutes. Woo! Big celebration at the end.
Do you see it?
Yep. This is what we do. We'd go at the end. We'd just like throw our weapons. Well, not throw them in the air, but hold them in the air and jump up and down. And oh, this brings back such good memories.
I know, and I was like really, I'm so blessed about work my first years.
Yeah, it's really bittersweet because you remember having so much fun, but it's also that's the last thing. Hollywood Harry!
I will never go back to that moment 5 years ago.
Oh.
I hope they bring it back again because they are always doing something at the Bates Motel. So when they
I
bring it
love
back,
Terror Tramp. I'm so upset that I never got to go through Terror Tramp because 2019 was the first year without it, and that was the only time I was a guest, and I was so upset.
I wonder if it's going to happen this year in October.
I hope they bring it back.
Jesus Christ, it's like Cinco de Mayo.
So many Hollywood Harrys. Look at all those clowns.
Look at it, I know.
Sorry if you're afraid of clowns.
Exactly.
People watching. Oh my gosh, this is a big celebration. Oh, my heart. Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
But for those watching, this is the final walkthrough of Terror Tramp. This is hardly ever seen. And now you know that was the thing.
Exactly. Now you guys know what it really looks like behind the scenes.
Yeah, and you can really see the camaraderie. We love each other. We have a lot of fun. We're scary, but we're just good at our jobs. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think I have a recording of it somewhere. No, I think I didn't because we were still behind guests and I didn't want to ruin the experience, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think I got it on video. I think I may have gotten a little bit on video like toward the end, but I don't remember. I don't know if I even had my phone on me. Because I had a watch to tell me when it was my set time or not. So I think I just left my phone with my bag. 2018, I definitely had my phone. That's how I told, because some costumes, you want to have a watch and you want it to have a vibrate option because you're not going to be able to be like, what time is it in character? So you want to feel when the alarm goes off so you know when to get off set. But some costumes, you just can't fit a watch there. Some costumes, it doesn't work with the costume at all. I was so spoiled in 2017 because all I got was like camp counselor shirt, bloody jeans, sneakers.
Oh, I remember. as a camp counselor.
Yeah, and then I had my watch worked with the costume, so I just had it right there, and I'm like, what time is it? Cool. My face! You know.
Oh, you were a camp counselor that year?
I was Grindstone Kill, yeah.
I was in there. I was working with you. I don't remember meeting you face to face. I was in there, yeah, because they had me in pool for a couple of weeks when they needed people, but I was actually a camp counselor.
Which one did you play?
For 2 days. I don't even remember where they had me. They had me in a yellow shirt, and I had some like khaki pants or shorts on.
Yep.
Because I had to fill in for somebody, so I worked pool. Which pool, by the way, for all the scare actors, if you decide you want to do an actual maze, you can opt for pool, and you can bounce around the park to do different parts whenever they need you.
It's fine.
So that's
you
always
mix
a
it
good
up.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to work with you. Probably saw you in there because I did work as a camp counselor.
Probably. I'm sorry, I don't remember your face. But to be
yeah.
fair, we don't usually see each other's faces.
We don't. And
It's
I
so
would have
funny
makeup,
working as a
different
wolf.
hair.
One of the wolf girls had prosthetics on, so I had a mask, so I would like take it off, put it back on, super easy.
Yeah.
But the other half transformed wolf girls had prosthetics, so they would cover the nose and the forehead. And then have their own teeth and stuff. It wasn't until after the run when I hung out with one of the wolf girls that I realized what she actually looked like. I was like, is that what your nose looks like? I had no idea. No idea. You just don't. You see everyone in costume. You see everyone in makeup. And even so, like, you don't see them made up. So if they like took the makeup off and stuff, you see their blotchy red faces after just wiping their face. They don't have the makeup on. They just rolled out of bed most likely, and they came for their shift. So you see them at pretty much their worst. So when you see them outside of scaring, you're like, is that what you look like normally? Oh my god.
Yeah. That's so much fun.
It's so
I remember those moments. Oh my gosh, I miss it now after sitting here for an hour. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to audition again. And after a while, they get to know you. You don't even have to audition anymore. They just call you in if they need you. You know, the casting department.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Keeps your picture or whatever. Like, oh, we need somebody that looks like you this year, and they call you in. So that's always, that's the great thing about working with HHN, Halloween Horror Nights, is that if you've worked 1 year, you've got seniority. 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to hire you back as long as you were good.
And that's true with any haunt too. Like if you're, if that's your home haunt and they know you and they like working with you and they know what you can do, then they'll usually just say, yeah, please come back. We love you.
They need people.
Yeah. And I only did Halloween Horror Nights for the 2 years. So I don't know how they feel about me, but I got an A my first year. They grade you apparently. I didn't know that until I'm friends with all the supervisors from that year, but one in particular I actually hung out with him and stuff, and he told me, yeah, I gave you some pretty good grades. You were pretty scary. That was awesome. And I was like, grades? He's like, oh yeah, we rate people because they have to know who to hire back. I was like, yeah. I didn't know I was going to be graded. Oh my God. Thank you for being so nice and generous with your grades.
Oh no. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And I know that they have a no hire list. So like if you get put on that you won't be hired back for at least 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And that's if you do a serious no.
Yeah.
That's a big no. You can't get hired back, and they usually don't even let you know unless it's a really big deal and they're like, you're fired. Yeah. That's a good tell that you won't be hired back, because if you get straight up fired. But if
you don't want to hit a guest or anything or cuss them out, so that's new news.
That's a big no. My ex-boyfriend actually, 2017, he was working Titans of Terror. That maze.
I remember those.
Yeah, he was one of the leather faces in that maze.
Yeah.
And his back was killing him, and one of his friends was going through, and he pops out with the chainsaw prop, and his back was already killing him from doing that over and over again. And his friends were going through, so he was just like, oh, I don't need to go all in, like that's my friend, it's not a guest, whatever. So normally you do not turn your back to guests because they will take full advantage. But he was like, oh, I know them. So he turned around. This is his side of the story, by the way. I don't know what actually happened, but he said he turned around and it felt like someone kicked him in the back. And he was in such excruciating pain. He gets off set and he goes up to his friend that he saw, and he was like, hey, did you kick me? And the guy's like, no, what are you talking about? And the guy was wearing a mask at the time. He was about to like go on set or just came off set. I don't know what happened, but he was wearing a mask. My ex wasn't wearing his mask because he just came off. And he's like yelling at him, did you kick me? Did you kick me? And he's getting more and more frustrated. He grabs the guy's head, pulls him in to yell in his ear, did you kick me? And that's when the guy's like, I spanked you on the butt in a flirtatious way.
No.
I guess it was too hard. I'm sorry.
Spanked on the butt?
But that's what happened. And so my ex went up to the supervisor and just said, hey, I know it looks bad, but I grabbed the guy's head and it may have shifted his mask on his face and it kind of hurt him a little bit and I didn't mean to. And I know it looks bad, but it was just because he couldn't hear me and I was like trying to yell in his ear. And the supervisor is like, oh, let me check the cameras real quick. That does look bad. It looks like you're straight up grabbing a dude's head and like shaking it or something. Like it's bad. I'll let them know that it wasn't as bad as it looks, but you know, I can't promise anything.
Oh, no.
So even if it's not a bad thing, as long as it looks bad, that's enough. And I can't guarantee that he was put on the no hire list. I like to say he was because it comforts me and my soul because he was a horrible boyfriend and I don't want to see him again. I don't want to scare with him again. But it did help that he wasn't scaring in 2018 and I like to credit that as that. So the point of the story is be careful what you do. Don't get on the no hire list. They won't tell you. You'll just audition and not get it.
Yeah.
And some people like to credit them not getting it to being put on the no hire list for some reason. It's like, oh, maybe I just did something bad and I'm badass. No, you weren't hired. You're not getting money. You're not getting to scare. What are you bragging about?
Exactly. Yeah, right?
Oh my god. So it is currently 12:20. We said 12:15.
Oh, wow.
I know, time goes by so
Time flies
fast.
when you're having fun.
Right? I'm so glad you're having fun. It's great to
We're
reminisce.
reliving it.
Do you mind, you have more photos, right, of like some of the other characters that you
I
played?
did,
Do you
and
mind
I sent
showing
you
those?
some more videos too.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so this one I'm seeing some bloody firemen.
We're here at
Oh my god, your
meeting
mouth kill.
before
That's
the show
mouth kill.
starts, so the show
Yes.
at 7, so we're just kind of hanging out and checking in the
Look at
rules,
that.
regulations.
Oh my god.
Stuff. So I'm gonna take you around, show you a little bit of the lot of what
You
it
can
is
see how the prosthetic
behind the
works
scenes
too, which
before
is
the show
amazing.
starts.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I got a piece
it's
of hair on
crazy.
my lips.
And that's when I had really black hair where I dyed it black.
I've been so tempted to dye my hair black many, many times.
I've done it black, and my hair is not black, but I dyed it black.
Nice.
People don't recognize me now. I was like, who are you?
Yeah. You can kind of see the setup for everything without it being all dark and scary. This is us getting set up. Morning meetings. All right. Cool.
I'm going to send you some more photos here.
Hi
Look at
there,
that
I just
clown
got out of
makeup.
the van. This
Airbrushed.
is Elizabeth
Love it.
Regal.
Yeah, because it changes every
this
day.
is the
You don't
official video
necessarily
of
have
what
the same
everything
makeup
looks
every
like.
Oh, I love that. I
Um,
love the change.
On the back lot, I am working for Terror Tram here for Halloween
Oh god, I
Horror
missed
Nights
this.
2016. So we're here and we're working hard on our last show last
I
night.
love the tram going by. Hi.
I'm about to enter as soon as this tram goes by. Let me get past this tram because I don't want to film them while I'm doing this.
Fair.
Okay, so I'm going to come back out. So I'll give you guys a one-on-one look at what this looks like.
That looked badass. It really makes me miss... It's weird, like, you miss the smells of, like, the fake blood and everything. And that's what's bringing it back for me. I don't know. Alright, so this was Parker's mom from Insidious 2. Look at that
Yes.
gorgeousness. Did you wear a wig? Is that a wig? Or is that your hair?
Yes. No, actually, that is a wig.
Oh,
it
okay.
does look very real, though.
I was going to say, because you said you dyed your hair black, but I could also see kind of the line of the wig, and I didn't want to insult your natural hair, but it did look like a wig. I wanted to make sure. But yeah, they tend to favor wigs. If your natural hair fits the character, they will start off with a wig because they don't really know what you look like going into it, other than like measurements and all that. But then you could get approved to use your regular hair if it fits the character. Oh my god, mouth kill, much blood, so scare.
Crazy.
Love it. Okay, these are more people. These are chainsaws. I love the decorations. So there's a throat kill. That's a prosthetic with a lot of fake blood. That's the outfit. So just so you know, this is not like an outfit that Elizabeth brought in. This is what costumes created. Like, they would buy, like, thrift a bunch of stuff, whatever looks like it, or make it from hand, from scratch, depending on what is needed. And then they would bloody it up with paint. And then the makeup artist would add a little bit more blood every day. So by the end of the run, you're, like, covered in blood. But this is not like we bring our own outfits and they bloody it up, because that ain't
No.
That's a no. Other haunts maybe.
There
This is
he is,
Hollywood Harry. Hollywood Harry, look at that gorgeous face. Both gorgeous faces. So yeah, Hollywood Harry, absolute legend. Oh my god, Tiffany, right? Is that Dan behind you?
I think so. I think so. That's when we were kind of backstage and I was kind of like hanging out before I had to actually go to Scare Base. So that's actually my outfit that I'm wearing.
Nice. Who's that with you? She looks so familiar.
She was just somebody there for the day. I don't know what they were doing, something, some kind of like sale or something. They were selling stuff or getting rid of stuff backstage. They were selling stuff from the end of the season, I think. I'm not sure. This was like years ago. I remember just vaguely, and they had it set up over there close to where the cafeteria is. And all
nice.
That. On where Scare Base. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that insider look.
Sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about scare-wise before we head out? And does anyone have any questions before we say our goodbyes and self-promos and stuff? Or is it a bad time?
The last character that I did was a lot of fun, because not everything that you do at Halloween Horror Nights is going to be an actual physical character. They have positions called blackout. And I played a blackout position in my last season for the Upside Down, Stranger Things. That's a really fun position because you just wear your regular street clothes and you're basically the characters that are behind the scenes. You're behind a wall, behind a door. So if something is moving, you're the blackout performer making that thing move without them actually seeing you.
You're the puppet master.
That was really great because I had my little office space where I went in, and I remember during the Upside Down, I was in a room, and if anybody has ever remembered Stranger Things, the hands on the wall that move in the wallpaper. I don't know if you guys remember that scene in Stranger Things. There's hands that move. So I was the blackout performer that was moving the hands, and I actually had really big gloves on, and I was pushing on the screen, and I had to actually press the pedal on the floor that would do the thunder and lightning, and then I'd press my hands through. So you have to time it as people are coming in. It was a great position because I could actually see them coming through and when to scare them. And it was a lot of fun too because people would get so terrified because unlike the Scareactors, you can see them coming. With blackouts, you have no idea what's going to happen. So people would be coming up down the hall, and all of a sudden I would do the thunder and lightning, the hands at the same time. So people were like, oh! And they were like, freak. And I remember one time this guy, the thing is with the blackout performers, you have to watch and make sure you have security around you because people get curious and want to know what's behind those walls and doors. So we had one guy one time, I think he was a little tipsy. He had this baseball cap and a couple of young guys. They were looking around. He was towards the back of the line, and he had seen already that my hands came up because when the line's backed up, sometimes you may see my hands come up a few times. So by the time it was his time to come in, he tried to dive through the actual wall.
Oh my god!
I know, and I got hit, and I was like, oh my god! And it's like it kind of hit me a little bit, and I got knocked down a little bit, which it wasn't bad.
Okay, like I'm glad you're okay.
Was like, what the heck? And I remember getting knocked down on the floor a little bit. I was like, because I did not know he was going to try to dive.
No! How could you predict something like that? What an idiot! What the hell?
No, because they have like security out there, but now you'll learn is when you go in the haunts, you have to have security maybe behind you in different sections. So if that ever happens, as a character, you can always talk to your supervisor or one of the captains and say, hey, I'm having this situation go on. Can we have a security person here? So that's the great thing about working with Halloween Horror Nights. You have your moments, but they also make it really safe. So if you ever feel you want to make a suggestion to them, they definitely want to make it safe for you and the guests. So that's what I really liked working with Universal Studios.
What's nice
So
also
that was
is
a
that
really
we're in a
interesting
union. So if we ever really get a complaint and say like, hey, they're not doing what they should, we could always go to our union and say, hey, they're not doing what I asked. Hello. But they take such good care. We're really spoiled when it comes to scare acting, because I've been in those small mazes. I've been in the like, they're just getting their footing, and they just hire like random makeup artists, and you got to bring your own clothes kind of thing. And what's great is like you could say whatever you want basically, so you get in the moment. But in Halloween Horror Nights, you don't.
No,
but the quality of Halloween Horror Nights is amazing.
It is incredible. So that was a very memorable year. I loved it because it was indoors. I didn't have to work outside.
Was this
So
2018 or 2019?
Yeah, I think it was 2018, wasn't it?
Because Stranger Things was both 2018 and 2019, I believe.
Yeah, because I only did 1 year. I didn't come back for that. Yeah, I didn't do the second year because I was pool one of the years.
Okay.
So yeah, it was the first Stranger Things. So that was, I think, 2018. But yeah, it was incredible because we had food and snacks all the time over there, and you sit backstage during your breaks, and you may work 8 to 10 sets a night, but then you get just as much break as you do performance time. So it was a lot of fun. So I got to walk through the maze on my break and get scared and all that. It was a lot of fun. That was a fun maze too. The Stranger Things. It was indoors, so I really liked that. So I wasn't outside. It was cold, but that's okay. I don't mind being outdoors too. It was just fun.
Except for when it's raining. Do you remember the big rain day?
My gosh, yeah, I remember that.
It's like we always talk about it because it was so much rain, which never happens, and we were not prepared, and so many people were angry and asked for refunds. And
it's because California, it's not supposed to rain here, right?
And we are. It never rains. What's water from the sky?
No,
God.
We don't live by the ocean or anything. Come on, this is the desert like Vegas. Come on,
Come on. We're not supposed to get rain. This is Hollywood.
Exactly.
This is why Hollywood is where it is. It's because the weather.
Exactly.
They could control it better. Fun fact in case people didn't know. But yeah, there was this one day in 2018 that rained so hard. And I talked about it a few times in other Scareactor Stories, but a lot of people just had like dance parties because we couldn't scare. And my group, we played video games, so we happened to have it on a potluck day, so we were just like munching on potluck stuff while playing video games and getting paid.
Yeah.
It was great for us, not great for the guests.
Yeah.
Oh man, legends. But it's such an amazing experience. What is one big piece of advice you could give people who've never scared before?
One piece of advice, I always say, keep up your health and fitness, because you need to be able to last throughout the season. You want to pace yourself, so you don't want to go in and be too aggressive and overdo it at the beginning of the season. Pace yourself, eat really well. Make sure on your days off you're not doing anything other than just resting. Mm-hmm. And, just eat well, sleep well, and I would condition yourself with a little bit of working out before you actually do it for the season, because the people, that do keep up physically fit seem to last longer throughout the season, and it really prevents injuries. And while you're on the set, I could say a second thing is make sure you stretch in between sets. It helps from injuries. I was doing that before each set and after each set, so I stretched a lot, and it really helped tremendously.
Some of the stilt walkers not only would stretch in between their sets, but they would work out. Like they would be doing crunches, they would have weights there, like they would still be working out to keep their muscles warm, because they're lifting stuff in addition to moving. So with regular Scareactors, you just need endurance, patience, marathon, not a sprint. If you're a chainsaw or stilt walker, stretching is important for everyone, but especially for you guys. Stretch and work out a little bit. Don't overwork yourself. But that's great advice. Thank you so much. Would you like to promote yourself in any way? This is your
Well,
time.
feel free to follow me. Like I said, I'm in the entertainment business as far as acting, filmmaking, and also in the sciences. I put up some really interesting stuff on my social media, and even magazines that have been recent released. I was in Voyage LA magazine, the Hollywood Times, Legend magazine, and also Shout Out LA. I've done like probably 10, 15 interviews the past year. So feel free to follow me at Elizabeth Regal 1 on Twitter or Instagram. And you can also find me, Elizabeth Regal, on Facebook and also on YouTube. So feel free to jump on, say hello. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. Got advice, comments, anything, feel free to shout out. I try to make myself available.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's nice that all your links are the same name and your name, easy to find. So please follow her. She's amazing, does a lot of amazing stuff. I wasn't able to link the articles to Twitch necessarily, but I will add those articles to the description of the YouTube video when it is uploaded on YouTube later. So you'll be able to easily find those articles too if you're interested in reading up on other stuff she's done and other interviews she's done. So
absolutely.
My shameless self-promo. Thank you so much for joining me for Scareactor Stories. Instagram, Discord. It's Instagram, Discord for stream updates, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Got it. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Elizabeth, for being here and sharing your wonderful wisdom and stories. Everyone have a happy Saturday. I will see you later tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time for interviewing more scare actors. So, bye, everyone.